Hey everybody, it's me, DioGenZ. Welcome to another short but sweet training episode of Pokemon Conquest. Let's go! Train everywhere that we've captured so far. So, this is a very short training episode because I just wanted to gain some extra experience before taking on Nobunaga's army. So the story for today is how and why my name is DioGenZ, and I always have introduced myself that way, but my channel's name is Spongmario. The thing about it is, before I really got into YouTube, I had another account that I'm not even going to mention because it was just kind of a test account, see what I could do here on the tubes of you, and it failed. It didn't really do anything, but I did a 5-year podcast, I think it went for, 5-year podcast with a good friend named Ryan Church, he doesn't have an alias like I do, but there is, of course, a reason behind my name, DioGenZ, which I'll get into in another episode. But I had this podcast with him, and I was the co-host of it. It was Nintendo Radio. It went swell, and we used YouTube for our video game reviews. In fact, if you go on to Spongmario and type in review into the search bar on my channel, you could probably see some of those older Nintendo Radio reviews and see Ryan Church in action in review style. Did some cool series on there like the Wii Fit Get Fatter program, because he was a skinny kid for most of his life, so it would be funny to see if Wii Fit could actually make him fatter, more in his body index range, whatever the BMI is supposed to be. So anyway, sidetracking. When he went to college, he said he was pretty much done with the podcast. It went 100 episodes, and that was a pretty satisfying result. We did not get a large amount of viewership like we have here on Planet Poke, or like now that I have on my YouTube channel, lonesome as it is, but it was a long process in building up and making content. So he said, yeah, you take full control of the YouTube. You know, you've done lots of reviews, lots of work on it, so the YouTube is yours. And he named it Spongmario. Unfortunately, I asked him about it. He said he said that there's really no reason that he made the name Spongmario, just that it was a random username at the time. So, unfortunately, it's going to stay like that, random username, but I'm DioGenZ. I've always been DioGenZ. Before I did anything on YouTube, I had worked in music, and I had worked on YouTube on that other channel. Did things like the Deoxys for Brawl campaign, but that is a dead channel, so don't worry about it. So, I took control of this channel thinking that, well, now here's a kind of small collection. At the time it was just a couple hundred subs that I had. Here's a small collection of a gaming community that is actually interested in Pokemon, so perhaps I could do that long dream that I have of becoming a Pokemon master in some sort of way. I do believe in the 90s that was many of kids' dreams, to be a Pokemon master, but what was it to be a Pokemon master in this electronic age where these organisms aren't exactly real, so it's not a true occupation? And what could you really do for it? So I learned about Let's Playing a few years prior, and that was really in the Genesis days, before there was even any commentary on there. Could you believe that? Let's Plays without commentary. It was a lot more common than it is today. Now commentators are seen as some of the coolest parts of Let's Plays, making them more interesting and kind of making a unique aspect on a game that you may have played thousands of times before, but now see it in their view, in their light. But that was in the days when you could get hour-long footage of, say, Metroid Prime, and I loved the idea of you could have a Wii game or a GameCube game, whatever game it was that you captured, with you wherever you went. And this was in the age of iPods and, of course, Zunes. That's one that a lot of people forget, but I had a Zune. And that idea that, oh man, I could play and see video games, not really play, but vicariously live out those awesome video gaming moments that I've had for so long. I could do that if I recorded games. So I started doing Let's Plays. I started mainly doing Pokemon stuff. It was all about the Pokemon for about it was about mainly hardcore Pokemon 1 year. I just did exclusively Pokemon, and then I started to expand outwards. I got my friend Vladimir Z on that channel, which is nice because it's a channel named Spongmario. My name is DioGenZ. I work on that channel. I upload content to that, but it's also in part thanks to Vladimir Z that I've gotten to the 4,000 plus marker that I'm at right now. He does Minecraft on that channel. He's my Russian buddy who does Minecraft adventures. So if you're a Minecraft fan, you could check that out. But so it kept expanding, you know, I kept doing videos, kept making things of content that interested me, mainly gaming, of course, but I did other games like Liltline, something that I just wanted to look at the graphics. You know, it's a game that is all about focusing on the rhythm that you're riding. You are playing as a line, basically, and you're going through these cavernous canyons, trying not to hit into the walls to have the highest score, all the while the dubstep beats. And I just wanted to watch the visuals to that, so I upload something like that, upload games that I just want to see over and over again, just to archive it. Mainly this YouTube thing has been an archiving adventure. But my name, Spongmario, all came from Ryan Church, and he was the main reason I got into making... You gotta be kidding me. Rhyperior gets freaking kicked back into that trap once more. How dare you disrespect the Rhyperior? But that's how I really got into uploading. You know, that's how I got into YouTube and successful with it, was doing what I really wanted to do most, not trying to do something that was, you know, not really against what I do normally, but I didn't have back then the experience, the editing power, or the know-how of how to keep an audience's attention. So, you know, I would do very foolish, noobish things to do on YouTube. So that's why I had that failed channel. But thanks to Ryan Church and Nintendo Radio, and thanks to the Spongmario channel, I'm here today talking to you with Conquest. So it's a long journey that's led to Planet Poke, but it's one that's been fun all the way. I've played many games, done awesome reviews, and experienced many awesome people in the gaming community. So it's truly thanks to the gaming community over the years, and really the Pokemon community specifically, for allowing me to do what I love, being a Pokemon trainer, and actually making it now, in the 21st century, in the age of the internet, mean something. I can literally be a Pokemon trainer where giving advice to young trainers is what I am doing as a job. It's actually my career now at the moment, and that is a pretty freaking awesome, fanciful notion that you could actually do whatever you want to do, so long as you have the passion to do it every day. Train to the maximum! That's why I don't see this as grinding, I see it as vital strategery in our victory against Nobunaga. But it's all an attitude, it's all the way that you want to look at it. I could have easily dropped the YouTube thing as soon as Ryan Church left, and actually the story wouldn't be complete if I didn't include my friend Matt Goldsman from Gamerscast, who he's actually another full stream partner. He is a part of the Yoush Alliance though. But check him out, Gamerscast, on YouTube. And it was thanks to him that he kind of kept me in the game of podcasting and also kept me uploading to YouTube. We were sort of figuring out this Let's Play thing all at the same time. At least me and him were simultaneously, him with mainly Fallout, so it was a different type of RPG, but me with Pokemon, and there was plenty of people to dig that RPG as well. And so it was thanks to him keeping me on his podcast that I remained interested in uploading gameplay and didn't get discouraged about low sub counts. So if you guys are just starting out your YouTubes, or you're just trying to find your place on it all and see how you could contribute to the collective consciousness of gaming or whatever it is that you record, then don't really be disheartened by lower sub counts, because it all starts out low. I mean, I've been on YouTube for, I guess, 6 years now? It seems like 6 or 5 years. It should be about 6, but yeah, so I've been on for quite a while, and it's taken a long-ass time to get anywhere to where people actually want to watch your videos and actually comment, and, you know, that's huge. I still get pumped up when I see comments. Every new comment I see is like a burst of motivation for me to make more videos. It's awesome. So if you just keep enjoying what you're doing, that's the main important thing to do, is not be in the money or the partnership or any of that. Just be in it until it's not fun anymore. If it's not fun, forget about it. If it wasn't fun to play video games all the time and record them and get to tell people in real life, yeah, I'm a Pokemon trainer, I don't know what you do, cashier at 7-Eleven, that's cool. You know, if I didn't love doing that, I would not do it. I would not keep it up. What's happening? Charmeleon! I spoke about that in the last episode. I was really excited for our Charmeleon to, or Charmander, to evolve into its eventual final favorite form of mine, Charizard. And that's the reason I got into Red. So that was the reasoning behind the name Spongmario. The name itself, not so important. The name means nothing. My name, DioGenZ, on the other hand, it does mean quite a many things, and it is a part of the narrative that I am telling in all my videos, so you'll find out in another episode, I'm sure. But the name itself, not much to it. The story behind it, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's where I got into this entire thing of doing Let's Plays. So let me know in the comments section below, are you a game Let's Player too, or are you just a fan of walkthroughs and video games in general? And do you do, overall, any content here on YouTube? What's your channel's name? Does it even have any kind of monumentous purpose behind it? Unlike mine, where, you know, it's just kind of a random name that Ryan Church chose, but is there even still a greater story behind it? Because usually behind a name, even if it's not with much meaning, how it got to that area could have an amusing story. So let me know in the comments below. The hugest thing I always stress is the big part of why this is a fun thing to do is because there's a community. I feel like there's a huger audience for Pokemon than there has ever been, and that's probably true because now multiple generations have gotten into the game, but that it's so much easier to find each other for battles. I tell you, when there was the link cable days, back for the Game Boy Color and even Game Boy Advance until it came to the wireless adapter, and then inevitably we got the grandiose DS, but we had to wait a while before Diamond and Pearl would come out to actually have online connectivity. But boy, when those games did, it really changed the shape of how Pokemon was played. It finally reintroduced everyone to each other of what their common interests were, and now trainers could actually get together and make their own leagues, make their own gyms if they so chose, and do cool things like this, collaborate with video creations here on YouTube. So, freaking traps, man, they always get me. So, hello world, loving the internets, it makes Pokemon even more playable. So thanks again for letting me take on the quest to become the very best. I am still trying as hard as I may, and what can I say, but this training episode is done. I've had enough with all this training montage bullshit, so in the next episode we are done with story time and moving on to the kingdom takeover of Yaksha. Make sure you leave your psychic Pokemon at home, peoples. They will do you no good in this match.
Ultra